On the first day, there's not a lot of structure. We just bring the pup out and kind of see what's going on. Is there a lot of drive with them at this point? You know, are they familiar with any of the tools, a leash, long lines, some retrieving toys, which in most scenarios they're not. So it takes a couple days to get them used to all these tools. So on the first day, we bring everything out, and it doesn't really look like training on the first day. It's just a lot of play. So the first thing we do is bring the pup out, put him on the long line, and I just let him go, and I just kind of play around with them. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab a toy to see what we can get interest with the pup from. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. So I really want to use that voice and try to encourage them. A lot of times on the first day we don't get a whole lot. They just want to smell around in the yard. They've never been here before. I'm new. The toy's new. Everything about this is new. All right. Good. So once I start to get a little bit of play from the pup, I really encourage that because I want to increase that drive to... All right, good. Good. Okay. So when I see that the pup is really interested, all right, I'll throw the toy when the pup's looking so that they have the opportunity to see it and want to go chase it, and then I can try to, you know, have them come back in, and I can try to use the rope if they go to run past. Hey, hey. All right. Good. Okay, all right. So again, a lot of voice, really encouraging the pup that this is a lot of fun. This is something that we want to do, you know, and to get them to want to work with me and focus on what I'm trying to do with them. So then, it went pretty well with this toy, so we'll try something else. So I have the bird here. A lot of times the dogs aren't familiar with the bird when they come here, so most cases they're usually a little timid with the bird. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. All right. You know, something we've never seen before, we don't know what to do with. So I kind of tease them with the toy or with the bird, make them want it, you know, razz them up with the voice, really encourage them that this is fun. I want to do it, bring out that drive. He's interested, I throw it, okay, good. Once he gets to it, I reward him with my voice, and then I try to bring him in with the rope. Good, all right, drop and meet the dog and grab whatever object they have. Good. So a lot of interest with this pup, with the bird and with the toy, which is great. This is what I really want to see on a first day. Gives us something to work with and build on making those retrieve patterns and get a lot of interest and drive with the bird, and, you know, start building on having focus from the dog with me too. So a couple things that you can do to try to better your chances when you bring your pup out here for training. You know, practice at home. If you have access to a bird, great, but try to use the whole bird and not the wings. Stay away from the tennis ball and just try to use, you know, some plush toys and mostly bumpers to get that retrieve going. In our Head Start program here at Hightest, one of the things that we focus on is getting that retrieve in the water and trying to build a strong foundation and confidence with the swimming and the entry and the pickup all in the water. The most common thing that we see when we first start working in the water is a lot of hesitation, unfamiliar with water and how to swim comfortably and make that clean pickup. So the first thing that we're going to do is come out here with the pup and a long line, which is also something that's new to them, and they have to figure out how to swim with this long line on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a mark out here into the water and see if the pup has enough drive to go in on their own. And if they don't go in, then we'll build on that. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the bird. This pup really enjoys the bird, and I want to bring that drive out. So we're just going to kind of get the pup excited, get some interest going, hey, 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 really use that voice, and I'm going to toss the bird out. And it's not going that far out there, just because we're just getting started. So I give the pup a little bit of an opportunity to make that entry on their own. If we're not going, I have the waders on, which gives me a really good opportunity to work closely with this pup in the water. So we're just going to take some steps in here, and I'm going to just kind of bring the pup in with me. Okay, good. Really using the voice. Good, all right. So you see how we get a little bit of panic here, and the pup's pounding the surface of the water. We don't have a whole lot of experience in the water and how to swim, so that's what we're going to work on, really trying to get this pup comfortable in the water and swimming so that we can build up to getting out here to these marks and making a pickup. So we're just going to keep working on this, staying in the water with these boots on. There you go. Good. All right. Good. Perfect. So I lead the pup out to the mark. The pup makes a nice clean pickup, really likes the bird. Come back to the shore, drop. All right. Very nice. So we didn't get an entry on our own with the pup, but we did start to get a little bit of drive when we were in the water to where the pup wanted to go out and get that bird. And that's something that we can work with and continue to build on. So we'll try this again. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So pup's thinking about it more this time. There we go. Very good. Perfect. So that's what we're building up to, and what we're looking for here is to get that pup going in on their own. Drop. Very nice. Without me having to go in the water with the pup to the mark. There was a little bit of hesitation on the entry, but the pup ended up wanting to go after this bird enough to get in on its own and make that pickup. And once they get the bird, they start to level out with the swimming. And so this just continues to build their experience with being in the water, making retrieves, and how to swim properly. Hey, hey, hey. So the pup started to try to bounce around on the shoreline, and I didn't give him a whole lot of slack to keep playing with. I wanted him to make that decision to get in. Very good. All right. Once he gets to that mark, lots of praise, because that's what I'm looking for. Very good. Here. Here. Good. All right. So now that we're starting to get what we're looking for with this pup going in the water and making a mark, we're going to add a little bit more to the pattern. We're going to add the sound of the gun, which is a big part of what we do here in the Head Start program. You know, and it really gets the dog's attention and makes sure that they're focusing on that mark. So I'm going to throw the bird out here, and the gun's going to come with that. Hey, hey. Very good. And you can see that each time we've done this, more and more that entry has gotten stronger each time. Not as much hesitation. The pup's really leveling out in the water, getting more comfortable with being in the water. Very good. Really likes the bird, a lot of drive, wants to get out there. All right. And we can also increase the distance of these marks too as things get stronger. Good. Here. Drop. All right. Very good. We worked the retrieve pattern in the water as you saw, and also on land as we're about to do now. The long line is more important on land because we need that added control. In the water we can't really fool around or play with the bird. On the land we have those options, so the long line helps us to clean things up. So here you see that kind of fooling around, that puppy attitude and immaturity, wanting to play with the bird, not naturally just come right in with it. So that's where we use the long line to help us get that control. You know, we try to bring the pup in as much as possible with our voice, but ultimately using that rope a lot. We teach basic obedience to the hunting dog pups. But if the dog's retrieving desire isn't very strong, we focus less on obedience and more on the retrieve. We work on heeling on the leash, responding to the choke chain, making turns, sit, and coming to heel position. Since we're introducing the leash and the choke chain, we want to keep this upbeat and encourage the pup to move with us around these turns. If you notice, she's using the chain and making some slight pops when she makes those turns to get the puppy's attention and to try to keep the focus on her so that we can teach the dog to move with us and pay attention to what direction we're going. The turns are important, help you to build a good rapport with your puppy.
Very good. Good. All right.
You can see she's using the chain here, asking for that sit, lifting straight up and kind of holding the tension. And then after the pup's settled and sitting, she gives that slack and makes some praise.
Good. Sit. All right. Perfect. Good.
When we work on position too, we try to start getting that straighter and cleaner, sharper sit.
Heel. Sit. All right.
Very good.
Very good. Here.
We also work on the recall, getting that started, which is the here to heel.
All right.
So encouraging the dog to come in when we say here and back to the left-hand side.
All right. Good. Heel.
Very good.
Perfect.
And just some slight corrections with that chain to help guide the pup around.
Heel. All right. Good girl. Good. Heel. Let's go.
In conclusion, in the puppy head start for hunting dogs, we start the dogs on retrieving birds, retrieving in the water, introduction to the gun, and basic obedience. At the end of all of this, of the 2-week Head Start puppy program, you get an hour work with the trainer to see what the dog has learned, and so that we can help you to continue the training when you take the pup home.